Hello all, this is Prasenjit Ghosh. I'm co-founder of Anakage Technologies. For those of you who are not aware of Anakage, Anakage provides to enterprises of all sizes an integrated IT platform that lifts and shifts all the manual IT tasks onto digital cobots or collaborative bots, freeing up IT for strategic initiatives, reducing costs, and improving user experience for enterprises. Today, it gives me great pleasure to have Nataraj with us to share his thoughts and his wisdom in this episode of CIO Tale series hosted by Anakage, and many thanks to Ofofo for making this happen. In terms of introduction, Nataraj is an accomplished IT leader, having served as CXO in leading MSPs and as CIO of marquee clients. He has more than 3 decades of experience leading industries of revenues 1.5 billion and Fortune 500 clients from Sweden, and brings in rich experience and insight from both sides of the table on the IT marketplace and ecosystem, both on the buyer and the seller side. Nataraj's Hall of Fame is endless, but just to name a quick few, he has been voted for 5 consecutive times the best CIO by IDG, Innovation Award by IDC, ranked as top 50 global CIOs by Information Week. Nataraj has also been awarded with Hind Ratna and Mahatma Gandhi Award by House of Commons, UK. But besides the star that he is, what makes him tick as a leader is his uncanny ability to take forward-looking strategic initiatives, wrap them in practical insights, and then bring people, process, and technology together to deliver long-term business outcomes. And this is why I think he has succeeded in leading not only large enterprises, but even smaller startups. Nataraj has shared his thoughts in form of articles with leading publishers like Economic Times, Times of India, and DataQuest. And he has also featured as panelist with leading media houses like CNBC, NDTV, and Economic Times. Nataraj currently heads Nirmata in capacity of a co-founding managing director. Nataraj's unwavering commitment to excellence and his dedication and exemplary vision to make big things happen inspires us all. And without further ado, let me sort of jump into today's session of CIO Tales. So Nataraj, as co-founding managing director of Nirmata, which I believe has also sort of incubated Kuvennos. Could you say some words about what you are doing presently? And then I'll have a series of questions for you thereafter.
Thanks, Prasenjit. As you rightly said, Nirmata incubated Kuvenno, now a CNCF project. So Nirmata enables platform engineering in terms to succeed with Kubernetes from build to run using policy as a code to govern security, operation, and cost across Kubernetes clusters. So
Nataraj, today, what do you see the maturity level of the IT organization, be it end consumers or industry in general, both in terms of IT process automation as well as business process automation? Is everything done? Is it at a very high level of maturity, or there's a lot of room still to improvise and improve?
IT and business workflow optimization is an essential aspect of improving efficiency, productivity, and overall performance within an organization. By streamlining processes, eliminating bottlenecks, and leveraging technology effectively, business can gain a competitive edge and achieve their goals more effectively. IT and business workflow optimization is a continuous journey. It's not a one-time. That requires a holistic approach, combining processes, analysis, technology, integration, employee engagement, data-driven decision making, and a culture of continuous improvement. By focusing on these aspects, organizations can optimize their workflows, boost productivity, and achieve sustainable growth. This also includes constant analysis of the processes and continuously work on improving these processes, and that's the key of any organizations.
So it's a continuous journey. You think Absolutely. There's a lot of things that needs to be done and will continue happening in this area?
Absolutely.
So Nataraj, so we understood that it's a continuous journey and a lot can be done, has to be done. Now COVID changed the way infrastructure and managed workplaces were getting delivered as a service. A lot of things have moved to cloud and they continue to move to cloud. Now there is a looming fear of recession. How do you think the industry is prepared? Is IT really prepared, or is IT scared for most of the industries? What has been your reading so far?
Sure. I think, the moving on the world of digital work has gone through tremendous transformation, as you know, through the pandemic, and now there is a fear of recession looming over, especially for the IT sector, where your views on the IT readiness for the recession. IT readiness for the recession is crucial for the organization to navigate challenging economic times effectively. As you rightly said, I think the economic, the recession is there, but when faced with the recession, business often need to make tough decisions regarding budget cuts, resource allocation, and operating efficiency. And these are all the three key factors always. So during a recession, organizations typically face cost constraint and financial pressure, and that's the first thing I think any organization comes across. IT department should proactively assess their expenses and identify areas where the cost optimization is possible. This could involve renegotiating vendor contracts, consolidating software licenses, adopting open source solutions, or leveraging cloud computing to optimize infrastructure cost. In summary, IT readiness for a recession involves a combination of the cost optimization, strategic investments, risk management, agile operations, talent management, vendor management, and effective communication and collaboration. By proactively addressing these aspects, organizations can strengthen their IT capabilities, weather the challenges of a recession, and position themselves for future growth.
Very well said, Nataraj. So this the recession actually, the way I understood is it's presenting an opportunity to sort of rekindle and rethink how IT services are being consumed and delivered. Right. Next question, Nataraj, that I think we all wanted to sort of get a perspective from you, because you have seen both sides of the table, is with generative AI and all these codeless platforms for automation, technology is now easily accessible to consumers directly, who can set up their own IT in-house teams and either develop applications or AI ML models or even automate support. What impact does this have on current MSPs, and do you think consumers are really trying to build in-house technology prowess and capability?
So IT industry is continuously been changing. There was a time where in the balance sheet, every IT companies, probably in the quarterly release, that used to say, right, we have added so many personnel, and that used to be one of the key factors of the growth, right? But if you really ask now, that's not anymore. So that means when the technology shift has been happening, so it's definitely an expectation from all the companies. How do you basically grow and do more with the less? You can only do more with the less by basically innovating yourself. That is one of the reasons why startup ecosystem is very, very important. Startup ecosystem is not only in terms of driving growth, but also basically packaging the entire the product to basically meet the customer needs. And some of the, not that basically all the MSPs are probably large system integrators can't do that, but time is the key, right? So many startups today you would have seen gone to the the unicorn status. If large companies are not adopting that, then someone will do it. Someone will cannibalize their IT. This has been already been happening. When you're talking about recession, all of those things, the one major part things comes is the cost reduction. And cost reduction, how typically one can optimize. They can't do the same number of people deployed to the projects, but at the same time your cost goes 40% less. It's from equation it's not possible, right? Otherwise you start bleeding yourself. It's only possible if cannibalize your IT. And I have seen many of the successful system integrators and MSP are those who cannibalize their business model itself. They go to the clients and then say, hey, Mr. Customer, I think we've been doing this, but we have come out with the good product lines, integrated some of these key technologies, and which is, the combination of the lot of startups in their platform, and offer the services which can reduce the 2/3 of their cost. Definitely customer loves it. What intent that MSP gets in is definitely a trust that customer basically enforces on the so-called partner. I think that's the time, the vendor moves to the status of the partner, because you yourself is coming and telling, right? Hey, I think I can do this with more with the less, right? That's a basically statement that you're giving to the customer. But at the same time, customer also is cognizant of things, right? Their business model is, their revenue is reducing. But then what he does is he tries to add the extra layers so that, from the revenue perspective, there will be win-win relationship. If really, and this is something which is not new. Even I think IT industry always evolves from time to time. If you really know from the hardware days, right? AMC cost of the hardware in certain cases used to be higher than the new PC cost, right? But later on, the PC becomes so basically reliable, people stop paying the AMC, right? So then suddenly those industry, right, which OS used to become free, then they have added a layers. Software, basically operating system is not free, right? Supporting the patches is not free. So that means you have reduced the hardware cost in AMC, but you have added extra layers. So end of the day, you've been growing from the business models, but at the same time, not the same way the conventional growth. So that typically articulates, right? The company who survived today, I think if you really see from top 10 probably PC hardware manufacturer, you can only name a few which is currently live. The answer is whosoever could innovate, whosoever could integrate these approaches to their platform, they are surviving. And the same thing happened to the so-called now MSP. If they can't basically integrate many of the cool startups so-called, right, to their ecosystem, definitely their days are numbered, right? So, because definitely, as I said, time is the key, and naturally, right, when you are coming out from the startup ecosystem, you are solving one particular problem. You are very, very focused, right? No one can typically do better than this. And that is where one of the successful thought leadership is thinking about how do you innovate the way the startup basically thinks. Even in the larger organization, there are, I think, the decentralization happening to think in a startup mode, right? I think that's what basically people are being giving empowerment, and that is one of the way I think any of the successful MSPs in today's world, I think growing much faster rate than the other ones. While talking about the latest trend, while it is important to note that predicting the future is inherently uncertain, here are a few key areas that show significant potential for growth and impact. And all of you know, AI comes first in a mind, AI and ML, right? Technologies are expected to continue their rapid advancement and integration across the industries, from automation and predictive analytics and natural language processing and computer vision. AI and ML have a very potential to revolutionize various domains, including healthcare, finance, customer service, and manufacturing. The second thing which comes in mind, not necessarily it is in order, as I said, the Internet of Things. The IoT is expanding rapidly, connecting devices and enabling data exchange on a massive scale. With advancement in sensor technologies, connectivity, and data analytics, the IoT is really set to transform industries such as smart homes, agriculture, transportation, and industrial automation. So the integration of IoT is also key. Typically, what the integration of the IoT devices with AI capabilities will unlock new possibilities and efficiencies. The third one could be the 5G and next generation connectivity, right? I think nothing can be, complete without the proper connectivity. And you know how typically ASP to the cloud has been proliferated by advancement of the technologies, right? We were thinking ASP earlier, but there was no baseline infrastructure. But now that is one of the reasons why 5G and next generation connectivity is important. Basically, 5G connectivity is expected to bring about significant improvements in data speed, capacity, and latency, enabling transformative applications. It will enhance mobile connectivity, power the IoT ecosystem, and support technologies like autonomous vehicle, augmented reality, and virtual reality. The proliferation of 5G networks will reshape the business, operate, and how people interact with technology. And that's something which is, been coming very soon. Fourth one is the edge computing. Again, the edge computing involves processing data closer to the source of the network edge rather than the relying on the centralized cloud infrastructure. This approach reduces the latency, enables real-time processing, which is very important. Now, the real-time processing is very important. So, this approach reduces the latency, enables real-time processing, and enhances data privacy and security. So, edge computing also will be critical for supporting the growth of IoT, AI, and other latency-sensitive applications, right? So, if you really see, all of them are cascaded to each other and helping the technologies one or the other, right? So, that's very, very important. The other one which comes in my mind is, again, nothing in order, it's a blockchain and distributed ledger technologies, which is called a DLT. Blockchain, the underlying technologies behind cryptocurrencies, everybody knows, like Bitcoin, has applications beyond finance. Its decentralized and immutable nature offers potential benefits in the area such as the supply chain management, cybersecurity, digital identity verification, and smart contracts. DLT, including blockchain, has the potential to enhance transparency, security, and efficiency in various industries. I think because the blockchain has a massive power to basically, enhance some of these things what I talked about, right? Another one everyone talks about, I don't know how typically, but yes, the quantum tech computing is also one of the key things to be watched with. Quantum computing holds the promise of solving complex problems that are beyond the reach of classical computers, right? I think we have been seeing the conventional computer of that can solve. So definitely quantum, computing is something which will unearth the real potential. While still in the early stages of the development, quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize the fields such as the drug discovery, optimization, cryptography, and material science, right? As the technology matures, right? I think we are not seen yet, but as the technology matures, it may unlock breakthrough in computational power of the problem solving capabilities. And that is something which, to be watched with. And another, now everyone is talking about the sustainable technology, and right, I think everywhere, even in worldwide, especially Europe, and I think they have, government agencies has given some targets to the specific industry. So with the increasing of the environmental concern, sustainable technologies are gaining momentum. And this includes renewable energy solutions, energy efficient infrastructure, circular economy practices, and green transportation. The integration of the technology with sustainability initiatives will also shape the future of the industries and contribute to more sustainable planet. And that's very key. Which are the industries are not following? Definitely, I think they are not be regarded high. So these are the just few examples of the future tech trends that are expected to have a significant impact of the various industries. It's important to monitor their development and adaptability to specific business context as they continue to evolve.
These are interesting times for sure, based on the technology trends specific to the IT that you mentioned, and not just the trends and the transformation. I've seen you over the last 10 years, Nataraj. I also see a personal transformation, your physical being itself. Is that conscious? I mean, you chose to sort of reinvent, rock your own boat, sort of change the status quo?
Yes, absolutely. I think to fit the current status of the startup eco world, definitely while you are updating your technology, but also I personally believe that to collaborate with the current generations, young kids, definitely I think some of this aesthetical, aspect also will help. And because, you need to be in a different form of the world, because there is no there is no basically office culture anymore, right? I think you need to be really with them always, not only while you're at work.
Yeah. more of a startup guy now.
Absolutely.
Okay. And talking about the young generation, what would be your advice be to aspirants, CIO aspirants who are following you and want to sort of get to that type of Hall of Fame?
So the role of the CIO is an exciting and challenging one, and it requires a unique blend of technical expertise, leadership skills, and strategic things, as it always. For anyone embarking on their journey towards this role, I would like to share some of the advices, because I have gone through this, and I have seen that this has become very, very handy. Continuously develop your technical knowledge and stay updated on the emerging technologies, industry trends, and best practices. This basically evolves time to time. Yeah. Second one, I would think, as a foster strong business acumen. It is essential to develop a deep understanding of your organization, which is very, very key, because technology being the technology, but that has to be applied with some, right? It has to be applied to the business. If you don't apply it to the business, it's not being relevant. Might be technology as a good might stand well, but if you can't create a positive outcome of those technology, the business that you're in, so it doesn't create a value. So definitely, develop partnership with the stakeholders, understand their needs, and work together to achieve common objectives. That's what typically is very, very important. Yeah. Third one, I think typically it comes in the mind is embrace leadership and influence. So typically, as a CIO, you will be leading teams and driving transformed changes. Develop and leadership skills. Inspire your team and create a culture of innovation and continuous improvement. And this is very, very key, because the technology is changing. If you are not connected with your team, it's very, very difficult to change them. So that's very, very important. To influence stakeholders by effectively communicating the value of IT initiatives and building a consensus around the technology strategies. Yeah. What also comes to the mind is embrace agility and adaptability. The IT landscape is quite a dynamic, and you will face various challenges and opportunities. Embracing agility and adaptability to navigate through changing circumstances. Be open to the new ideas, embrace innovation, and don't be afraid to take calculated risk. It's very, very important. That's where the startup culture comes, right? For example, if any CIOs can't basically integrate and think beyond the conventional technologies and can't basically integrate their platform with the new startup innovation system, it's very, very difficult for them to be as successful. Right? Yeah. Then focus on cybersecurity. With the increasing threat landscape, prioritize cybersecurity as a fundamental aspect of your IT strategy. Stay abreast of the latest technology and security practice, invest in robust defenses, and educate your team and stakeholder about the importance of the cybersecurity. We have seen sometimes the CIO becomes too operational, right, and then ignores this part of it, because one definitely basically affects the other. But because now things are more stable from the, if you really see data center to everything, it's a more of hygiene. What is important, right? I think how do you focus on the security aspect is some of those things to make sure that whatever basically operational parameters that you deliver with utmost, on the security, keeping security in mind. Yeah. So one of the key things, right, I think as I said, never stop learning. The technology landscape is constantly evolving, and there is always something new to that learn, right? Cultivate a mindset of continuous learning, seek professional development opportunities, attend conferences, and connect with industry peers to stay ahead of the curve. And it's very, very important, because nowadays, if you really see, right from the cloud to everything, there are so many conferences happening. Sometimes, visual is the best way of learning, right? I think just be involved yourself. Try to, pick the brain of several other, the peers, and then talk to them. I'm sure that every day, every time, I think when you go meet them, there will be new learning. Finally, remember the journey to become a CIO is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient, persistent, and dedicate to your own growth. Embrace challenges as learning opportunities and stay passionate about the transformative power of the technology. That's the very key.
Okay, that was very insightful, Nataraj, for aspirants to your path. Let's get into some rapid fire questions. I'll sort of volley a series of questions, answer in 5 to 7 words, whatever comes to your mind, right? What is the most productive hour of the day?
For me, the morning hours.
And typically, what do you sort of focus on?
As early bird advantage, I try to work on the most complex and demanding tasks at this hour so that my most important work is aligned with my most productive hour. So that helps me in terms of.
Your favorite book or movie?
My favorite book all time is, the Bhagavad Gita and also the Chanakya, the both. It's very, very complementary.
Your motto in life?
Lead with purpose and integrity.
Leader who has inspired you most?
I think there's not one leader who inspired me. I will not basically say the big name, but however, yes, they are big name today. Right from the Ashok Sutta to Atul Nisha to the Kishore Patil, and in the startup world, Arun Ramamurthy, and also the current leader, Jim Bagwadia, right?
Your leadership style in 3 to 5 words?
Collaboration, growth, and high performance. This has always been my 3 pillars. Technology underneath is being changing, so I would always give a high rating to the collaboration, growth, and high performance.
Thank you so much, Nataraj. It was a pleasure to have you here, and thanks for sharing your wisdom and time with us.
Thanks, Prasenjit. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm sure that this is one of the beginning. All the best for your new ventures.
Thank you, Nataraj. Thanks for watching the CIO Tales. Stay tuned.